And welcome to episode 31 of Campaigns of the Plains, D&D, Campaign 2.
Or 3, depending. Well, this is
No. I said D&D,
okay.
Campaign 2.
You're right.
If you're listening on podcasts, it is just Campaign 3, Season 3. Speaking of podcasts, hey Travis, where can folks hear us?
Well, golly, Josh, they can go to their favorite podcast platform to catch a fresh episode of Campaigns of the Plains every Wednesday. That's including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or, your favorite weird offshoot podcast platform. We're on just about all of them, so check us out. Make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to follow us on all of your social medias, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, if we ever actually used it. And yeah, we so love your support, and we want more of it.
And if you like to keep viewing these beautiful faces, every Friday you can do so on a new episode. Remember to check us out on YouTube. If you're already watching this on YouTube, awesome. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, smash, as some...
Oh.
We would all like you all to smash responsibly.
Yes, please. Whatever, smash, tickle. Let's use tickle. I don't think I've ever heard anybody use
what
tickle.
What are we tickling?
We're tickling the subscribe button.
Oh, with your mouse cursor.
With the finger.
Yeah, you just kind of wiggle on that.
Make
sure you...
Does tickle make Eric uncomfortable?
Jiggle.
Oh, man.
I have punched people.
For tickle?
Yeah, I'm very ticklish, and they found the spot. My reaction is punch in the face.
Oh, okay.
Ends things quickly. Sometimes it escalates things. That was a surprise too.
Well, don't worry, subscribers. The only thing that we're going to punch you in the face with is more content. So,
humor.
Dark
humor.
Mars.
Why you gotta be dark?
And you know what? This could be our last episode because we're in danger.
Yeah. Speaking of, you wanna go ahead and recap how you're in danger?
Wait, I didn't give my notes a title. It's gonna be
We're in danger?
Would the N be capital in this sentence? No. In this title?
It's not a motel.
No, yeah. Dander.
Dander?
We're in dander.
We're in dander.
That behemoth got that dandruff. Got
danger. How do you spell danger? I got it.
E-R-I-C.
Yeah.
Middle name.
Okay, guys, remember, the notes are good. No, they're not. Okay, first note. Asher has a new Moogle friend, helper, familiar.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
We named, after much deliberation, them Magpie. And then Ellie remembered she needed to be somewhere, so she pieced out Butterscout. And
That's a new one.
Then Marquies spent 3 days making a shit ton of potions and was just gonna wheelbarrow them out to the front line. And then instead of doing that, he found a bandolier.
There's still plenty in a fucking cart.
In a flashback sequence, he found a bandolier that he can put potions into to cast them faster. But to get it, he had to pay his last 5 gold and promise the crazy potion guy that he would give his friends 3 random potions. And, what?
Nothing.
And so Marquies is gonna give us questionable potions, probably.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I still have that other one from I guess
and so we go to war. And So they all got they not me went and met with the group, the war party. Sure. And the melee fighters went one way, and the mages went another way. And the mages met a Makote male dressed in all red everything. He lost a bet at the die lot and only has red clothing. Gosh darn it. And he's super fancy AF, and his name is Orahatia. And Milos and Becky flirted with him, and we have never seen Milos flirt with anyone, so Becky, you better back down, because Milos doesn't show interest easily. And you flirt with everyone.
Get my way.
And they
Alysia's already headcanoned.
And they did some kind of weird tantric tail dance.
Menage a tail.
And it was
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
Menage a tail.
There we go. Change your notes.
French.
And then we walked, Ellie finally caught up with everybody after she got scolded for leaving her friends behind and not helping them, even though she was just trying to be responsible to show up for her class. But she gets it, her friends might die, and she'll be real sad if all of her friends are dead, because then she would be back to 0 friends. So that might not be fun. And so she ran and caught up with them finally, and got to meet the pretty man too. But she was like, whatever, I only have eyes for one man, and he wears a mask.
I don't think this was elaborated on in the episode, so thank you for the exposition.
This is Did and I just chilling, being all like, here for the story.
And we've met more than one person with a mask. And then the last thing that I wrote was
I have a mask
Mouth.
Mouth.
Which we don't know that's what it is, but I know what that is, and we're in danger. That's it. That's all I got.
That was pretty coherent.
I'm coherent 50% of the time. I wonder why.
Did we need to add anything to that? I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I had was I made a new friend named Dusty, the elemental, and then
Does Dusty sell you drugs in a back alley?
No.
He is drugs from the back.
It's the drugs.
His street name is Dust.
Dooster.
All right.
Snort me, daddy.
Oh.
Why did I think of that? Damn it.
All right. So let's jump into this episode. Becky, this ferocious figure rears its head and lets loose this giant roar as it stands up on 2 legs and comes back down after a roar that shakes the canopy for miles around. Birds go flying from the treetops around you. The earth itself shakes. Even those of you back at the back of the ravine feel as its footsteps come slamming to the ground. The forces around you all grow pale or paler in complexion, as most of them now spot this figure breaking the trees through the tree line.
Oh, didn't know what that is. Ellie reaches into her bag and takes out her little knit shawl and then puts it over her head and all of her ears to flatten them down and ties it babushka style, just under her chin. And she's like, now it's quiet again. Perfect. I want to go home. Can we go home, Becky?
Becky's not there. You're not near Becky. You're near Milos.
Can we go home, Becky?
What is the range on your telepathy?
Oh, no. I never use it. Let's see. 60 feet. She's probably not that close.
She's not that close.
Okay. Milos? That's a really big monster. It's bigger than Titan.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, an idea of scale. How big is this monster?
It is a let me double check real quick here.
It is really big. That's its exact dimensions.
In opposition to kind of big.
For those of you that know of the behemoth in lore, this is not the largest behemoth in creation.
It's not King Behemoth.
It's not King
Huh.
Behemoth.
Good.
Well, I guess it's a.
Oh, it's a small one. That's good.
Small by other behemoth standards? Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, gotta go through my notes and control find.
All these wood whalers get their behemoth mounts out and start jumping on them.
I do miss that in 14. Boy, howdy. Where's my scale size? Here it is. It is considered a huge creature.
Not that big, right?
6 squares.
It's 15 by 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
so 3
yeah,
squares.
medium,
3,
large,
3, 3.
huge, right?
Yep, medium, large, huge, and then gargantuan.
Could be bigger.
Could be bigger.
So,
Okay. We should kill that thing. Right? I look around to all of the people who are supposed to be in charge.
even Emma, who's in charge of the casters here, is like, you see her grasping her staff, and it is twitching in her grasp, and she's like, what do we do? What do we do?
It's okay. We'll win. Because we're awesome.
Okay.
No, you have to believe in yourself so that you can do the thing. Something like that. I'm roughly quoting Marquies here.
And you see as
He's better at the pep talk.
Oraha actually puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of reassures you for a second as he steps up to Emma and places his hand on her shoulder, and he says just loud enough for most of you to hear, but definitely pointed at Emma. He says, "Do not fear. Though the beasts may be large, our hearts together are larger."
Wow. That's kind of what I was trying to get at.
You should probably see a doctor if your heart's enlarged.
You're good at that.
It grew 3 sizes that day.
So, let's go and get it. Actually, Din might try to catch it. That might be good for us.
Milos, again, it was Becky
How
that
big
saw
of
the
a thing
crystal
can you catch?
at his hip light up. What's your passive perception?
17.
Yeah, you see now, just a glimpse of it, the crystal that is at Oraha's side flashes a quick crimson flash.
Are you doing magic stuff?
And he kind of looks back at you and he kind of winks.
Oh! I wink at him too.
I like that double wink. Where
No, it literally is like she's staring at him like...
I
twitch
twitch
at him. I twitch.
It might have been a small grunt.
Since
Mhm.
I'm the unofficial scout for our side,
Sure.
is there, other than the 50-foot monster, is there any other surprises I can see from here?
You don't see anything else at the back of this column. Along with the this giant creature, this behemoth of a creature, as one might say. You see, like, there are two people kind of near its head, and you see that they are grasping these chains that are attached to a collar around its neck. And these two individuals are very large. There's one Rogden male, and there is also a larger, Goliathus. That is, they are hanging onto these chains, but boy, do they have to, like, really strain. But like I said, they physically are very strong. So,
the behemoth, does it look like it's going to fit through the ravine? Because they're already doing 2x2 for soldiers, and a huge creature, bigger than 2x2 soldiers.
Go ahead and make me just a straight intelligence check. 13. You kind of do some quick maths, and you've got the equations floating out of your head there for a moment, and you're like, this guy's not gonna fit into that ravine, not unless he, like, steps on either side of the ravine. So even if he passively, like, walks through the ravine on either side by, like, putting his appendages and walking on the higher tiers, he's going to squish some people that are in the blinds.
I'm going to send a message to my teammates and say, hey guys, I don't know how this creature is going to fit through the ravine unless he just barrels over top of you guys. You need to get ready.
Are there any war machines?
They hadn't had time to prepare any, like, siege weapons or anything like that. The only thing that you guys really have at your disposal are the boulders and loose piles of rubble and debris that they had prepared to crush humanoids.
I have heat metal.
I'm nowhere near you.
You're telling me, Los?
And they're holding it by chains. And they're trying to contain it. It must not be on their side. So if we got them to let it go, maybe it would just, in Din's word, fuck them all up.
Did Ellie see these two on top of the behemoth, or?
They're not on top of the behemoth. They are, like, walking near its head. There's chains on either side, and they are walking it forward.
They're walking the cat.
Yep.
Right. But did Ellie see them?
I'll suppose that Becky relayed this information.
Okay.
And that you related to Ellie because she doesn't have a sending zone.
Correct.
Or a link pole, sorry.
I was trying to figure out how she would have gotten that.
I'm just trying to cut the middleman to save time.
I'd
I got
assume
that.
Milos would be transferring information back to, like, the group over here, too, like the mages and stuff.
Yeah.
I would, yes.
We just don't need to explain it.
Right. So, yes, that's a potentially good idea. But we don't know if this thing would act on their behalf without them holding the chains. It might attack them. It might still just attack us. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. But I don't think heat metal is the end-all, be-all. Perhaps they can still hold on to the chains even through the heat. I mean, it's not like it immediately kills them or anything. It just burns a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I don't know how else we're going to, I don't know what we're going to do. It's very large. We could just kill it.
Yeah, that's that's definitely a possibility. I mean, you can whittle it down, but I'm sure it could do some pretty massive damage to us as well. Let's make sure everyone is clear, and we can potentially reposition ourselves.
We just do the plan that was the plan before, which I don't know what it is, but it might be a good one.
We can still try.
Front fighters, you're hearing the conversation through your link pearl now, all of this information being relayed. You look to where Bergen's position was kind of back, but in view of most folks behind the blinds, and you see that she is giving out orders and signals are being sent down the line on the other side of the ravine as well. And you hear through the chain of command, soldiers near the blinds near you. Bergen is given the order that we are to withdraw once the behemoth passes midway through the ravine, but we are still to take out the soldiers in the column. We've gone through so much prep work that at the very least we need to ensure that the bulk of the force is taken care of. Perhaps she thinks that we may loosen control of the behemoth, and once it is no longer in control, it may return to the wilds. We could deal with it at a later part in time.
Okay, well, I guess we better get started then.
So, as the column now reaches the ravine and starts to walk in, Becky, why don't you make me a perception check, as you are the nearest to this section of the ravine?
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a big fat 8.
With all the din of the behemoth and the excitement of the behemoth, you hadn't really been paying attention to the column. You're kind of trying to figure out, because it was your job to siphon the troops or hurry them through the ravine so that way the traps could be set off quicker, where you're going to position your attacks now that there's a giant-ass creature blocking up a lot of the ravine as it approaches the neck of the ravine on this side.
So I guess.
But there is something tingling at the back of your mind, just kind of watching the column walk. There's perfection in marching. This one's kind of odd though.
Do I see the end of the columns?
Yeah, barely. The behemoth has started to walk towards the end of the column, and it's obscuring a lot of the column, especially the front. You see probably the back two. There are about, by your count, probably about 120, if not 140 soldiers in this column.
Okay. Alright. From where I'm at, would there be a chance that I could, basically, with a controlled, drop with my wings, kind of, fall behind this tree so that they don't see me, and then kind of, reposition myself to be behind?
I'll allow you to kind of I will give you advantage on your athletics of dropping down from the tree silently, since you have your wings and you're kind of doing a controlled descent.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Athletics. That'd be a 19.
19? Yeah, you managed to kind of cup your wings enough to where you don't have to, like, go back and forth, but you kind of silently and kind of give one last flutter before you hit the ground. It's only about 15 or so feet to the ground, and so it takes you just a brief moment to catch the air currents and gently lower yourself to the ground.
Well, what I wanted to do was get low enough that I can just skim the treetops and, like, circle around to get behind the column of troops.
So where you're at in the trees itself, you're kind of at the lower portion of the tree line, where a lot of these trees in the forest are kind of a coniferous, and you would have to actually fly up. A lot of these trees are very old, very tall trees, and so so you'd have to fly up, and the tree line itself kind of breaks away at the beginning of the ravine, so there are trees on either side of the ravine, but the ravine itself doesn't have any tree cover.
Right. So, anyway, yeah, what I want to do is I want to try and basically sneak around and get behind the column to cast some stuff, so.
Okay. Are you trying to wedge yourself in between the behemoth and the back of the column? Is that kind of what you're trying to do? Or are you trying to sneak up behind the back of the behemoth?
Okay, so I guess, is the behemoth, like, in the middle of the column?
No, he's at the back.
He's at the very back.
Yeah, he was the last thing to come through the tree line.
Okay. I think I'm trying to, like, get behind the behemoth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and make some distractions here.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So you glide down to the ground at an angle where you kind of like skimming the lowest that you can keep a profile on, and kind of try to get, I'm assuming, as close as you can to the behemoth, or are you trying to stay like a few feet back?
Yeah, I want to stay a few feet back. Up to like 100 feet back is all I need.
Okay.
But, so
you're already, the tree that you were in was positioned pretty close to the road itself, so he's not moving that quickly, and from the tree line where you were at, where they came through, you're only about 50 feet back from the behemoth itself, so you could literally just drop to the ground silently and then step out onto the road and be like 50 feet back from him.
Okay. I guess I don't want to be seen. I'm trying to do this stealthily.
Okay, so you're trying to stick to the tree line?
I guess if I was in a better... in my headcanon, I misinterpreted where I was, but... Yeah,
you're in the tree, like, covered by the pine and whatnot, so you're actually pretty well hidden where you're at if you want to stay up there.
Okay. I guess I snap out of my daydream, and all that never happened, and... what I'm going to do is I want to cast Dancing Lights, and I can cast that up to 120 feet away.
All right.
And I want to basically cast like a light in front of the behemoth's face, kind of buzzing back and forth like it's a bug.
Okay. So I don't think there's any save against dancing lights or anything, right?
No, I'm just trying to create a distraction for him.
Fair enough. Yeah, so, like, you get the idea that this creature's probably been trained at some point along the line, but once you start casting those lights and you kind of have, we'll say like a nice red laser light style bug kind of floating in front of its face, like its pupils dilate and it goes back into feral, like almost cat mode, and it starts to like swipe at the air where these lights are, and you now see its trainers are like burgeoning to like grab hold of its chains, and it is grunting and thrashing kind of on the road here.
And then I want to then make the lights start zipping above the heads of the two handlers.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the behemoth's bigger than its handlers, barely. Its handlers could probably stand shoulder on shoulder and maybe pet the top of its, like, shoulders, its big, beefy shoulders.
Right.
And you're kind of having them zip around. They're on either side of its head, so it's swatting over top of both of their heads now, kind of yanking at the chains. And let's see if they can hang on. We'll go with the blue and silver for a second. So, the larger Goliathus, she doesn't let go. She rolled a natural 20 on her strength check, and she's got a hold of this creature's chain really well. The Rogden man, however, gets yanked up off of his feet as he rolled a natural 1. And he's being dragged around like those videos where you see somebody trying to hang on to the end of a fire hose, and he's just getting beat across the ground as he is trying to hold on to the chain, regain his footing, and you hear the woman be like, "Fool, get back up on your feet!"
And then I want to just take one of those lights, buzz it around his face really fast for a little bit, and then it'll just land right on top of the Goliath's head.
Okay. While you're doing that, why don't you make me a quick perception check?
Okay. Oh, Jesus. 8.
Okay. Yeah. It's doing its job. I mean, the Goliathus, let's see if she can. This one's working better tonight. Yeah, you know what? She is on top of her game. While she may not have complete control of this beast, she is dodging kind of side to side deftly and like yanking down on one half of the behemoth, keeping it off kilter, but at the same time, she's not giving her partner on the opposite side time to be able to recover from her side. As she yanks down on her side, it tilts his up, and he goes flying into the air and smacks back down onto the ground as he's trying to hang on to the chain. The rest of you, back in the blinds and everything, mages can kind of see this behemoth, like...
How far away are we?
You're about 120 feet from where the behemoth is. And the fighters are a little bit closer there, probably about 60 feet from the location of the behemoth. The column has started to go into the ravine and are marching along. Milos, I'd like you to make me a perception check.
Ooh. That's not horrible. Let me look at that. That's a 15.
15. So you're the one who was in charge of roughing up the terrain inside of the ravine itself, and you're watching intently as you're waiting for all your hard work to come to some kind of fruition, and it's really weird. Like, these soldiers show no signs of slowing down over this rough terrain. Like, they are marching through it like it's not a problem whatsoever. As the column is starting to pass you guys, it's finally starting to get to your location underneath. Go ahead and roll me perception checks. Din and Marquies and Asher.
I would let everyone know, like, they're not being slowed down by the difficult terrain, if that wasn't obvious to them.
Yeah, and that gets kind of pointed along.
24.
17.
18.
You guys all notice it, especially after Milos sends this information along the link pearl. He's like, hey, these guys aren't slowing down. And you all start to kind of stare intently at the ground. It's definitely been roughed up. Spikes really loose, like gravel in certain areas that would definitely sink most of the heavy armor that the Guardians here are wearing. They're wearing that full gold armor, white capes. They're fully helmed, so you can't really see their faces through the helms as they've got their visors down and everything. Marquies, something's off. And something kind of draws your attention, especially to the movement of these people. You've studied people. You know how they work. Being a detective, you've had to interrogate many people. You know the inner workings. You've seen soldiers. You've studied their movements. While soldiers can be extremely trained and very in tune with one another, the level of perfection of the marching catches your attention as the distance between each set of two is kept at an exact amount. Like, it's too perfect. And the pace at what they're keeping is almost clockwork. Like, it's just too pristine. They're not running into each other. They're giving each other enough space. And their movements, as they keep pace, are... it's weird. It's not human-like. Even the most well-trained soldier, they're gonna twitch. They're gonna readjust a shoulder strap, or make sure that their sword is at their side. Something. None of these are. Din, your perception, you've been on the hunt for a really long time, and you're kind of in that hunter's mode where you're taking in your prey, noticing them, and one of the main things that you rely on is that smell, the smell of your prey. You should be close enough where you're getting, like, the smell of humanoids, the smell of sweat of people stuck in armor, the smell of people. You're not getting that. Asher, with your perception, the thing you notice is all of these people in this heavy armor. Now, your dad is a masterful smith, and he can make some pretty good plates. And you've seen him make it plenty of times before, and he can, on a very good occasion, make it decently quiet. But no plate is going to be dead quiet. You'd expect that at some point, the armor on these guys should be hitting somewhere. There should be a pauldron knocking against the breastplates, or there should be the sound of a sword clinking against the hip guards. There's no sound. In fact, all three of you notice there's no sound at all coming from these people. Suddenly you hear, "Release the boulders!" Suddenly rocks go falling in front of you, and the dust starts to pick up as these boulders tumble down to the ground and crash into this column. No sound, though, except for the sound of rolling boulders hitting other boulders, which in and of itself is definitely an overload of sound, but at the same time, what you're listening for is the screams of humanoids under the weight of a boulder, or the sound of stone on metal. You guys aren't getting any of that here.
Does Dusty sense anything with his tremor sense? Like, does he sense, like, footfalls at all?
Shakes his head at you. He knows what you're trying to get him to sense, and he kind of focuses on the column, and he just kind of shakes his head at you.
We've got a problem.
I think it's an illusion.
It's a really powerful mage that can create an illusion that big.
Becky, we need you to see if you can find an ambush.
Okay, well, hold on. And then I do a final, like, zip around the behemoth's head, and then I send it, like, the lights flying into, like, the forest behind it. To
Okay.
see if I can lure it away.
All right. See if and now the Goliathus, after a valiant battle, as it zips away, just loses her footing, and you see as both of these handlers start getting drug back into the forest whence they came.
Okay. Do I hear or see anyone, like, scattering, essentially, because the behemoth is coming back through the forest?
Wait,
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Wait, Marquies. Or not Marquies. Milos. Who was left in the town to defend it?
Ha! Natural 20.
Nice.
23.
So you look where this behemoth is headed. Nobody back here.
Hey, Marquies.
Yes.
So, really weird thing. So I think the monster was real, right? And I distracted it back into the forest. But when it went back into the forest and was swinging its owners around, I didn't hear or see anyone yelling, screaming, or running. I don't think there's anyone back here.
And with that, I will answer Ellie and say, I don't know if anyone was left to defend the town. I think
So-
we all left.
All the people
Emma?
who could defend the town are here with a fake army while there's an old man with war flashbacks defending the town.
This was a distraction. We need to get back.
We need to go back to the town.
Asher, go find the commander. We need to turn around.
You just probably run and find Emma. I don't even know who.
No,
Is it
Bergen.
Bergen.
So you turn and start running towards where Bergen's position was, and
Oh, fuck.
you see people like running around. The dust has started to clear in the ravine now for you guys, and you see kind of an eerie sight as these phantom soldiers continue to walk through all of the boulders unscathed and continue to...
This is a really massive illusion, and I don't know who cast it.
Asher, you race towards there, and you see now as people are running back and forth in a panic. Not just any kind of panic, but you don't see Bergen. Also, there are people screaming, "Where's the commander? What's our next order?"
Not a goddamn military leader. I don't know what we're doing.
Tell them to... I go over to Milo and grab his head and yell into the link bro. Tell them that the town is in danger and they need to go back!
I hear that and I start flying back towards the ambush.
Okay.
Do you see Emma?
Yes, Emma is still there. She's trying to make sense. She's actually seemed to be kind of focusing for a bit, and she turns to Araha and she says, "There is some great magic at work. I need you to find them. Unless any of the rest of you has any kind of detection of the arcane available."
Oh. I don't think so. Let me look.
Oh, like detect good or detect magic or whatever.
It's only up to 30 feet.
And you see Araha, he finally pulls the saber from the belt there at his side. Instead of holding it like a traditional saber, he kind of turns it upside down, so the blade is facing the ground, and he pulls the crystal from his side as it floats just inches from his hand and places it on top of the butt of his saber, and he kind of focuses a little bit, and you see now as the crystal, the red crystal, is now starting to kind of hum, and he opens his eyes, and his eyes kind of flash red for a moment, and he says, "Detect magic's not going to do us much good here, but I can detect an object."
What object?
And he says, "Every caster has some kind of focus. My guess is that the mages that were brought along here perhaps might be summoners. Every summoner is given a crystal from the faith Titan, an easy object to find."
Oh, I've got one right here if you need to know what it looks like.
"That works perfectly, my dear." And he holds his hand out and he's like, "May I see it for a moment?"
Yeah, I trust you.
And he crushes it in his hand. No,
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Damn. That motherfucker got some good hands. He's using them squeezy things.
Yeah. Hand kegels. No, I'm...
Papa, you can't, sense other summons, can you? I don't know how you work, really.
I don't know how to do my job, she says.
Right.
I don't know how to do my job. I'm learning in reverse.
Araha kind of like turns the crystal over a couple times, and he tosses it back to you.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, that will help tremendously. And he places his hand on the crystal and starts to focus. And there's this crimson pulse that pulses out around him on the ground. And you see that it kind of forms this circle of like wavering light. And you see that there are a couple of points that are pointed off to the left and one off to the right.
Oh. How close is that one?
Well, they have to be within 100 feet of me.
Alright, Poppy. Let's go. And I just start running in that direction.
Which direction?
Which way is not the cliff?
Left or right?
Right. There's only one to the right, right?
There is.
I go right.
That's where...
Hey, we're going right. We're going
so
right.
Subjective, I do not know.
It's my right.
Good. So no.
Which right is your right? The one I'm going. Come on, Milos. I grab his hand. We're gonna go kill some bad guys.
She's fine.
Very well, let's go.
All right.
Usually she's killing up.
Yeah, Asher, you, there is no sign of Bergen anywhere at all here. Everybody's confused. There's no orders being given. And then as you guys, Milos and Eliar, are starting to bolt towards the right side of the forces, where your friends are, actually, hidden in the blinds there, you actually now see as there's movement coming from the tree line, tops of the trees now, and you stare at it for a moment, and Milos, you had military training. You recognize this immediately. This is a volley of arrows.
Oh no.
Takes you a second, Elliot, to recognize it as well. So Milos, you notice it first, and
I will call out to everyone via the link pro as loud as I can as well. Get down! Arrows incoming!
I hide underneath Milos.
Oh,
the
thank
arrows
you.
are not coming in your direction.
Oh, okay.
They're hitting the ridges where you're...
Oh, tell them they're in danger!
He just did.
Oh, I can't hear
Yep.
you guys talk.
I literally just said it 2 feet from you.
Oh.
Becky
She's got her
flips
ear set
over
up like a
midair as
rooster
she's flying back and is like, oh shit.
And Becky, since you're in flight, you see and hear as the behemoth has now been turned around
Oh no.
and is coming back to the ravine.
Oh no.
You see that the handlers are no longer in charge of the chains. In fact, there is no handlers attached to the chains.
Well, what killed those two?
There is a figure on top of the behemoth, though, kind of standing and holding the mane with one hand and clutching this very ornate curved sword in another hand. They are in this very daunting full plate, kind of a brass type color. The headpiece is super ornate, as it seems like there are these metal spiral horns that kind of come out like this, and the face itself seems to portray some kind of face of anguish, almost. Full armor, this long cape of black. You look over to the right where your allies are, and you see now on the ridge above them, you see the archers. But you also see another figure, dressed in similar armor, full plate. This figure has kind of this cap, almost, like a little bit of cap. And they have this very ornate, like, neck collar made out of filigreed metal, coming up in an arch over their mask. And they kind of depict this portrayal of, looks to be kind of a twisted joy. And they have this ornate looking bladed staff in their hand. And you look to the left and you see another figure, similar armor. And this one is massively bigger than the other two figures. And their armor is a little bit bulkier, kind of squarish in shape. Their helmet looking a little more bulbous at the top, and the face is like an angry war cry, and they are clutching this giant hammer in their hands, and it seems like there are orders being shouted out. They are in control of whatever is going on here.
I say through the pearl, it's a reverse ambush. Everyone retreat.
Asher back on the road, and Milos and Ellie. You hear the call for retreat, and it's being called upon for most folks too, as they see these arrows raining down as you guys are getting pelted with arrows. Luckily, none of them have hit you guys yet, but they are starting to make contact with some of the soldiers that have, like...
I'm ducking in between them, like the shields of other soldiers.
Yeah, they have been, like, so out of foray that it seems like most of the newer recruits have kind of, like, fallen on their asses and are trying to retreat, but they just get pelted with these arrows. And the three of you kind of closest to where you had come from now see a figure on top of, it looks like a horse, but it has this, like, scale-like textured skin with these white puffs of fur along its tail and kind of on its chest and mane, but like on the top of its head it seems to have this boned appendage that looks like some kind of horn. And there is a person sitting on top of it, and they're in rather lithe armor. That brass coloration again as well. And their armor has this kind of rose filigree down the arms. And their helmet has like this half crown. It kind of comes up from the back and then comes right here. And their faceplate depicting what looks to be like a joyous crying. And they lift up their faceplates, Milos, so you and Ellie can see their face. It is Bergen.
What a bitch!
She now clutches this double saber in her hand, and she looks down right at you, Milos. And she says, "It's time to come home, Prince. Time to reclaim your rightful lineage. Time to return to Alec.
any of that mean, Milos?
I don't fucking know. I've never even seen this person until yesterday. I guess they want me to go home for some reason.
Wait,
I have no idea.
She lowers her face mask again, and you hear what seems to be chanting coming from behind the mask, and these words of power start to form in your mind, Milos, and it's not... You've heard magical languages. You've heard many languages growing up, being tutored. This is not something that you can pinpoint. It feels ancient. It feels pretty powerful. And you feel the words weigh heavy on your body. And
no. Don't you do that. Don't you touch him.
Stop chanting, and in common, she says, "Wake, awaken." Milos, the horn on your head begins to glow.
It's a fucking Warsi Blee.
Poppy. Protect Milos.
As you now see, as Milos's body, like the fur on his body starts to stand on end, and the fur between just starts to crackle with like a static
Just take,
electricity.
Like, 3 really big steps back for Milos.
Milos, you feel this sudden surge of energy that you've never felt before. And those gold stripes on your fur begin to pulse little lights and a power that you've not felt before.
How did we miss that?
Your eyes turn this deep color of red.
Hey, can I see any of this happening?
You certainly can. Flying above the battlefield, you see spot another one of these people in armor standing right in front of Milos and Ellie.
Do I see Milos glowing?
Yeah, you do. In fact,
Oh.
you hear a familiar voice in your head go, "Oh."
So I cast Scorching Ray at the figure standing in front of Milos. And as I do, my staff activates and twins the spell. And I'm going to cast this at 3rd level.
Oh,
and I'm going to dump it in a Nokian point.
You can. I hold up my hand and I point to the ring.
Well, I can't. I've already cast it at 3rd level.
Oh, we can't go higher than what we can cast? Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to cast that at 3rd level. So that means I'm going to roll 8 attacks at this person, which I don't know if I saw who it was, but.
All this, meanwhile, me and Asher are just like fucking holding shields up when we're just getting rained on
Alright.
by goddamn arrows.
22 for the first one.
Okay.
I'm assuming you got a bear that's just like, I don't give a shit, it's fucking arrows.
He might be giving you
Natural
a
1.
cover. Okay.
Uh, 17.
Okay.
15.
All right.
5.
What?
You get 5. How many rays do you get?
Well, 4, but I twin the spell, so I get 8.
Oh my gosh.
That's ouch.
Anyway. Let's see, was that?
That
roll
was
4?
That was 4. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
4 more.
Okay. I hope someone's recording while I'm rolling here.
I am.
Okay, cool. That is 13.
Okay.
Um, 14.
Okay.
15.
All right.
13.
13?
That was 13.
Okay.
How many left?
2 more.
One more? 2? Oh, okay. That is going to be a 23.
All right.
And a natural 20 to finish it off.
Nicely done.
Okay.
All right.
How many of those hit?
4 of those hit.
Okay. And one was double damage.
The crit does not hit.
Okay.
That was
And
one
then
of them
I'm
that didn't.
Okay, and I'm dumping an extra damage die in there with my Enochian point.
So does each one of those get an extra damage die?
Yes, according to what me and Josh talked about earlier.
All damage die are doubled on that particular roll.
3rd level scorching ray. That's like.
Okay. So,
How many d6 is that?
hold on. I'm gonna count here because let's see. D6. So it's usually because I use an Enochian point, it's 3d6. And 4 of them hit. So
So you roll
12, but then I doubled 1. So
roll 9 and then double.
Yeah, roll your double die separately.
yeah. 9.
Oh, a bunch of 1s.
Well, five, 20, 24, 27 plus
Another 6, right? Because it's 3 double. So 27 plus.
that's going to be 18. So 18 plus 27 is
45?
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah.
7 and 8 would be 15. And then
Yeah.
add another 10. Yep.
45?
Yep.
45 damage.
Okay. So,
Fire.
Becky,
That
you
would be awful.
see as Milos is glowing and pulsing with power, and your immediate thought is, I gotta stop that shit from happening. And that person is probably in charge of it. And you bend the laws to your whim and set off 2 of these scorching rays.
I like to think that I almost halt in the air, and every tip of my wing casts a ray of fire out of it.
Ah, a little Bahamut. I like that one. Yeah, so these rays streak across the sky, and you release 8 of these searing beams from your body, and they race to the direction right in front of Milos. And 4 of them seem to reach their mark. The other 4 veer off a little bit even before they get to their target. They seem to taper off and almost get redirected towards Milos.
Oh,
And you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit Milos. The magic seems to make contact with Milos, but it does nothing to him. And
you're a sponge.
It actually seems to hasten this process that's going on. And the fire from the spell actually seems to kind of dissipate along the ground and then breathe back into where his aura is. It's this living, breathing Blaize at his feet, as you can almost see the magical ripple. The other 4 find their mark and hit the plate that this figure is wearing, or seemingly so. There's a little bit of a shimmer to it. Definitely hits, and they definitely react to a physical hit. They don't seem bothered by it too much, though.
You bitch.
She raises her set of twin blades at you and says, "It's time for you to be judged, evil one." She spins the blade in her hand, and you see 4 scorching rays coming back in your direction.
Okay, cool.
You're not going to counterspell it?
It's not a counterspell. She is casting her own, so...
No.
Oh,
No.
are you going to
She has
counterspell?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okie dokie. So, nothing happens.
A laser show.
Perfect. That's fine.
Yeah. What? Can you see what's going on?
This isn't the one riding the behemoth, is it?
What's that? No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is the one on the horseback, horse-ish creature in front of you and Milos. Back to our fighters. You keep getting these volleys of arrows, and luckily now, with maybe a little bit of help from you guys, I mean, Din, you're being kind of shielded by Maul, and the arrows don't seem to be doing much to him.
Okay.
I mean, they're hitting a pretty fat, chunky bit of flesh, and he's kind of covering you up so you're not catching arrows. And Asher, Marquies, you've kind of managed to form up what troops you have into a pseudo shield wall.
Yeah, we stole some dead guys' shields.
Yeah, probably. Yep. But yeah, it seems like the arrows start to recede a bit. And suddenly nothing.
Don't trust it.
You see a figure now poke out over the ravine. There's about 15 feet up of steep wall above you guys, where you're positioned. And there is a figure that looks down at you in armor with a curved sword in hand on his left hand, and he speaks down to you, not in a yell, but a booming voice, loud enough for you to hear, but the tonality is like he is just speaking. Perhaps his voice is being projected magically. and he points his sword down at you all on this side, and he says, "Do not delay us from our quarry. The prince shall return."
Does anyone know what he's talking about?
Becky! Becky, can you hear me?
She's close enough for your telepathy now.
Becky, you should tell everyone they're here for Milos. They said something about taking him back to his rightful throne or something.
Bitch, get an earring again.
I'm sorry! Joker said they didn't have any more.
He always lies. Hey, everyone, guess what? Milos is a prince, and they're trying to get him. Save Milos. Repeat, save Milos.
How the hell are we supposed to get up there?
We rode... When we left the big city, did we take a Garuda down the cliff?
You rode a kite being empowered by Garuda.
Yeah. I think they were like fancy, like artisan kites.
Ah, yes. We should get a kite.
It was on a line. It wasn't like a free-flowing kite. It was literally like a zip line.
A fancy zip line.
Yeah.
Are we still up? We're up and they're down, right? Is that how that's going?
No, like, they're not in the ravine. They're basically at the level that you guys are at. So
okay.
they just need to, like, perhaps reconverge with you.
Tell them to come help. It's just me and Poppy up here, and Poppy's scared.
So, back to the original plan. I'm going to cast Dust Devil right in between, like, right in front of Milos.
Okay. Go ahead and, is there anything that you have to, or is it a save, or is it an attack?
So, I choose an unoccupied 5-foot cube of air.
Okay.
And so right in front of him. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the Dust Devil must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d8 bludgeoning damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
Alright. So, I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. You guys. Doesn't seem to be any more projectiles coming to you, and you've been given the instructions that everybody is after Milos. What are you guys doing?
So we would run to him.
Yeah, I would say it's a good idea to run, but stay in formation.
I can fly and pick someone up.
Oh, that's actually really...
Come pick up Milos. He's not moving.
Also,
you should...
there is now a heavily obscured area around Milos because it whips up a bunch of dust and dirt and rocks.
Can you carry me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm carrying Bear.
Oh.
If you carry him, your bear is going to have to run after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ride your bear? I don't know.
If you allow it, you're the bear's master.
Oh fuck! I'm going. Yeah.
Want to ride a bear?
I will have a bear steed to catch up to you. But I think Asher would be best for you.
First time Marquies' bear's back.
You and I already mapped it out. I can carry you.
Alright.
Awesome.
So.
Ellie is furiously writing in her journal. And then he rode in on a bear to save the day.
Oh, God. Alright, so, Din, you unfurl your wings and you kind of pick up a little bit of speed and you catch Asher right underneath the armpits. And you start flying into Milos' general direction. And you, before you left, you're like, alright, Maul, you're gonna let Marquies ride you and you're gonna follow me.
Talking in bear speak.
Yeah. So, you guys, you, Din, you unfurl your wings and you kind of pick up a little bit of speed and you catch Asher right underneath the armpits. And you, before you left, you're like, alright, Maul, you're gonna let Marquies ride you and you're gonna follow me. Yeah.
Talking in bear speak.
Go ahead and make me a dexterity check. Do athletics, I don't care which one.
I mean, they're all about the same. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I mean, it's still bad, but it's better than I thought. It's a 10.
It's 10. You rode a horse. You rode a chocobo. You've never ridden a bear.
It's got 4 legs.
Yeah, that seemed to be the thought process
Probably
in the
similar
moment.
to a horse.
The gait, unfortunately, is much different than a horse or a chocobo. And so you're getting rocked back and forth, and you're
There's
like,
nothing to hold on to.
yeah, you're hanging on to clumps of hair as best you can between your leather gloves, and you're getting like rocked back and forth real hard as it uses its front 2 paws, and like, you know, that gait is not a horse, it's not a chocobo, it's not that smooth motion. You're on a bear. You're barely hanging on as you're like kind of cocked to the side a little bit with like one leg trying to hang on, but you're on.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to Becky. You cast this Dust Devil in front of Milos. Milos, I want you to go ahead and make a spell save roll.
What kind of save? Sorry.
Just your spell save.
Okay. We're good.
Roll 20, add your spell save modifier.
That's 25.
25. You cast this Dust Devil right in front of Milos, and that Dust Devil just... It's like Milos' aura is just eating all of these elements and sucking it right into him. And this magic is just empowering him. And you see these runes start to cover his body. It is really strange. It's not the type of magical runes that you're used to seeing in books or seeing most people write out. It's like a combination of all of the magical languages that you've seen, but older, more power held within it. Ellie. Yeah. You feel this twinge, this familiar twinge, as the aura that Milos is giving off now feels like the mist.
Oh no.
Like when you get too close to the mist,
Oh no.
it's intoxicating and feels like it could overtake you at any moment.
Maybe 2 more big steps back. Guys, this is bad. Milos smells like mist magic.
What? What?
I don't know how to explain it. It feels like the mist. Where are you?
You look back and see as Din is flying up with Asher in her arms and sets him down near you.
Hi,
And
Asher.
I don't know if you want to stay airborne at this point or if you want to land.
I just land.
Okay. So you land and you see Marquies like side-cocked onto this bear, like hanging on for dear life as they stroll up as well.
It would be cooler if he could stay on it more efficiently. I'll write it
They
cooler
did
than
not make these.
Yeah. I'll write it that he wrote it.
Oh, right.
I'll write down that he rode him into battle in a very masculine, cool, heroic way to save the day.
If he had hair, it'd be fun.
He doesn't have hair. He's wearing
I know.
pants. Maybe he'll approach, and as he approaches, he'll take off his mask and he'll shake out his hair, and he'll be like, "I'm here to save the day."
Fabio.
You think so? That's how it would write it. It doesn't need to happen that
We
way.
could have a cape too.
Oh, the cape pops out from nowhere like magic. It's fluttering.
Oh wait, you do have a cape.
Isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's like
You have like a
It's like a
rope
half
thing.
cape.
Yeah.
it's like those like where it kind of drapes over the shoulders, you
And
know.
then he'll say some witty one-liner like, "Not on my watch." Something like that. I have to workshop it. I'll write it in my journal if we live for this. Can we check? Is Milos like?
I'm afraid.
Is magic is just?
The whole
It's
thing.
magic and it feels like
Form
Miss
is
Magic, but
betrayed.
is it like? Does it feel like heat?
It's while magic in its pure essence isn't normally visible unless it's channeled through an element or captured in a crystal, you can literally see it coming off of Milos. And Milos, at this point, you start getting these visions. These visions of someplace far away or long ago, but odd. And at first it seems like your vision isn't clear, but you quickly realize that perhaps you are in a liquid. And you look around and you see that you are in some kind of see-through container. And you look beyond your own container and you see there are other containers in a row. Some to the left, some to the right, and some across you in an aisle. And you look down, and there are these beings, these humanoids, but something's different about them. The technology that they're working is some kind of melding of machina that you have seen before, you recognize, but it's not ancient and decrepit or worn down like what you've seen. It's new, it pulses with magic and with a language that you can't quite comprehend if you were just Milos. But you look down at the panel and you can finally focus on these words that are flashing across the screen. And you see Allegan Report 1331. Successful cross hybrid of breed 1221 known as Chimera, and breed 910 commonly called Hrothgar. Magical potential extremely high. Attunement with elements extremely high. Recommend further testing. But destroy current subjects. As they are resistant to our control methods. You're studying this, and you suddenly see Hrothgar that look like you, which is a rarity unto itself. As your coloration, the horn itself, all super rare traits, basically only in your family. There is a ton of them floating in these tubes. There's another one across from you, and it seems to have awakened as well, and it starts, like, punching the tube that it's in, and the tube itself begins to crack. And the liquid breaks out, and these people dressed in lab coats try to restrain the creature, but they are slashed by claws and left in a bloody pile on the floor. The figure comes over to your tube and pushes a button on the panel next to you, and your tube begins to drain, and you would have fallen to the floor, but this figure catches you and says, "Brother, it is time for us to leave."
What about our brethren?
They cannot contain their own power. Fortunately, they are inferior. We must make our escape.
I take your lead.
And you're a little weakened, so he has to kind of throw your arm over his shoulder, and you both make your way out of this maze of similar-bodied tubes. Back here, you guys now see as these armored figures now approach you from all sides.
Back the fuck up.
The behemoth now ripping through the ravine.
Well, he's big. He can do what he wants.
And you see now as Bergen, the figure on the mount in front of you, says, as she looks over at the figure riding the behemoth, "Zargabath, deal with them, and then retrieve the prince."
That doesn't sound good.
The other three judges conjure their magic, and an orb of black disappear. However, you are left with the behemoth
Oh.
and the person riding it.
Oh. Hey. Hi up there. Zach, Dog Breath? What, that what your name was?
You hear this deep voice again, loudly projected, probably via magic, say, that's Zargabath.
Right.
Judge Zargabath.
Okay. Okay, listen, I know you're a judge. We've committed a lot of crimes. But if you're gonna kill us, can you tell us why you want Milos? Because he's my friend.
It is none of your concern.
Oh, fuck you! You got a dumb name!
Good job. That was proper use of fun.
Milos, you actually, when you leave that door in the vision, you kind of stumble to consciousness again, and that aura dissipates from Milos, and you guys now see as he kind of like blinks his eyes, and that red dissipates from his eyes, and he is back in.
Hi, Milos. We're in
current
danger. They
situation.
want to kidnap you because you're a prince or something.
I mean, I feel like you probably should not let that happen.
Yeah.
Where did the other three go?
They left because they're certain that that behemoth will kill us. They're probably not wrong.
Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Oh.
Okay.
No. I don't want to.
Okay. Ellie will be sitting this one out.
Yeah, Belly sits on the ground and crosses her arms and just goes, no!
Just pouts.
Ooh! Oh, okay. Okay.
Give me a second here. Gotta pull up my. Come on, tablet. Ellie.
Ellie got a dirty 20.
Alright. Din. 21. Becky.
5.
5. Milos.
1 second.
Oh. Marquies. Oh, no? Did you roll for him?
Yeah, he rolled before he left. I
Oh.
just need to find his character sheet. That's a 13.
13. Marquise.
10.
10. Asher.
19.
19. Zargabath
Marquise?
and...
So, I was told to only do the big dangerous summons if it was a life or death situation. Would you call this a life or death situation, or is this like a poppy level situation?
This is kind of a thing. Are you... I don't mind.
Smoke him if
Yes,
you got
this
him.
is big.
So I should, because I was told that if I summon the big things too much, then... I didn't listen.
Oops.
I was told not to do it for some reason. Why? Oh no, I forgot.
Oopsie daisies.
Let's see.
Alright. Din. You're up first.
Wow, I didn't write down the important part. I didn't write down why I shouldn't summon the big things. I think I might die. That doesn't sound right. They used a lot of my energy? No, that doesn't sound right either.
He's on the beam, or yes?
Yeah, he
He's
is...
on the beam.
What's that?
He's
He's
on
on the behemoth.
I
Yep.
literally forgot what you told me, Josh.
Then so did Ellie.
Can I? Shoot, Judge.
Absolutely. She is
Ellie's
going to
just
shoot the judge.
Ellie's ignoring this whole situation, and she's like, "Why shouldn't I summon the big things very often?"
Go ahead and roll.
I missed.
Just
It was a
shuts
2.
down my-
It was a 2? Yeah, you take your bow and you aim up, and before he is done giving his monologue about judging you guys and being judge, jury, and executioner, like, you're like, shut up, man, and you, like, release an arrow, and it just deflects right off of his chest plate. And he just kind of looks down at it and is like,
I'm try again.
alright.
It wasn't that I was gonna die.
13.
13, again, glances right off of his armor.
I'll give him the middle finger.
Alright, you do have Maul.
Man, this poor bear against this thing.
Marquies is still riding him.
Oh.
No. Marquies has gotten off of Maul.
Did you want off of wall?
Yeah!
Okay. I don't know if you wanted to
I can
attack
fucking
there.
ride the goddamn bear as it goes up into this shit.
Riding the bear shooting.
What, are you having Maul do anything?
Yeah, he'll attempt to hit the behemoth, I guess.
Alrighty then.
Maybe it gets harder to summon. Maybe it gets harder to control them.
Elspeth, just summon the damn thing.
But what if I
It
die?
doesn't matter. You're
Oh,
gonna
that's
die if you
21.
don't.
21? Yeah, no, it's a big creature. It's not hard to hit.
It's a bite.
It's a bite.
Yes.
Do the bite.
Because-
Something about a mountain
He does 5
blowing up.
piercing.
5 piercing damage. Alright.
And then he claws it.
Okay.
9.
9, unfortunately, isn't enough to pierce that fleshy hide.
But he gnawed on it.
He did get a chunk.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Din and Ellie, you're next.
Poppy, do you remember?
Meow.
If I summon the big things too much, she said something could happen to me. I don't think it was death.
Poppy, like, gets her paw up like she's going to, like, do the chin thing and think, but then just kind of licks her paw.
Okay, fine. Ellie, like, does one of these poses, and her skirt starts ruffling around her, and her hair does one of the, her babushka hat flows off, and her ears go back up, right? And she closes her eyes, and she's listening to this guy, Judge, Jury, Education.
Education.
Judge, Jury, and Education.
Is this the USA?
Yes, definitely
Yeah,
sounds
she's
like
just
a
like,
American
can you,
school system.
you just, shh. I don't really care about you, dog breath. And, and then she goes, okay, Cecil. It's time for real this time. One of yous. Both of yous? One of yous. Let's do this. And I try to do what I did last time and summon Cecil.
Go ahead and roll me percentile.
I gotta roll percentiles still? Fuck!
It's a lower difficulty.
Yeah. I read about him. I know all about your girlfriend.
That's why it's a lower difficulty.
You know about your
I
girlfriend?
know
I know
about your
what you did.
girlfriend.
Okay.
You trying to find common ground?
Yeah.
She's hot.
39.
39. You would roll under the, so it was 4. Why both of
Yeah,
you?
both of them were 39, weren't they?
Yeah, why both of you? Like, I set the difficulty to 40 tonight on percentiles, and you both, like...
That's
Oh,
not low. That's not a low.
That's
I
low
studied
for
him.
percentiles.
I rolled a natural 20 to get his favor.
Roll me a d10.
Fuck me. 10.
I don't like any of what I just witnessed on that face.
Yeah. Yeah.
The black armor was really cool. You
Just
my friends
summon-
with.
Just summon media.
You guys see her, she was trying to summon so confidently, and then you see it start to flutter, and it start to fail, and she starts to get a little panicked.
He's deciding if we're wiping or not.
This may be it, man. Stay tuned for next season. No.
Did I tell you guys sometimes I can summon evil things?
Not evil, just powerful.
No evil. No evil.
No evil.
No. Poppy, you ain't gonna betray me like that, right?
As Poppy pops into her light form as something
What?
is being summoned.
Please be Cecil.
Chaotic summons, let's go.
It is
Nothing's changed.
Roll me a d20
God.
and then add 6.
Natural 20.
10.
10? Okay. I need you to roll me 3 d10s plus 8.
That's a lot of dice that you are rolling.
Plus 8.
22.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Poppy disappears in a flash of light. There's nothing left standing in the spot where Poppy had been.
Oh, shit. Cecil?
You
Poppy?
all look now to the sky above the behemoth as there is this object crashing to the ground,
Oh.
and it almost looks like a beam of light, except for there is a physical form to it, and it crashes into the behemoth down below, and this figure lands next to the spear now that you see, grabs it, hops off, and hops to a point on the ridge that may be impossible for most to stand on one foot. And he pulls up his right leg just a bit.
Oh my god, it's a dragoon.
Mm-hmm.
Hot!
This person is dressed in like a dark blue armor. And there is a very heavy dragon motif as his left shoulder has a dragon head on it. And his helmet itself covers the top of his face, is pointed into a dragon form, dragon wings. Even the heels on his boots have dragon wings. His spear is shaped like the wings of a dragon.
Hi, I'm Ellie. Will you help me?
You just see the figure kind of nod his head, not look in your direction, but nod his head.
Perfect. Do you know Cecil? No, probably.
You see him kind of like...
Probably not. Oh, no, you do. Okay. Well, I like you. You're cool. What's your... You can't talk to me, maybe. I don't know what your name is. I'll look you up in my book later.
So,
that
that is your
thing.
action to summon.
Get it!
That is your action to summon. You still have your bonus action if you would like to do anything else.
Are dragoons and Final Fantasy traders? Aren't like most dragoons and Final Fantasy traders?
Depends on the lore.
Bonus action. Bonus.
I mean, were they in 11? Didn't they raise dragons?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. It just depends on the lore.
They were also dragon killers. I mean,
Yeah, that...
and they stole a child.
Yeah, it depends on the lore. Some of them live with dragons and, like, are raised by them and taught, but then there are some that are just basically
I don't really have any
made for
bonus
killing
actions
dragons.
I can use, so I will look at my new dragoon friend and I'll say, that guy on the behemoth and also the behemoth, just get him.
Alright. Asher, you are up.
Yeah, he's gonna run up.
Does he get an action this turn?
He took his action.
His action was to jump over here.
He
No!
did like 22 damage.
He
Oh, he did damage
did
too!
his Jump, that was what you rolled.
That's what I was rolling with damage.
Yeah.
Hey.
He literally stuck a spear from the sky into the behemoth, jumped on top of it, grabbed his spear, and then jumped over towards you guys.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
He used jump.
That's cool. I like him.
Martel,
I need to look him up in my
go.
I'm going to use my bonus action to look him up in my book.
You do not have time. That is not a bonus action.
Cross-reference isn't a bonus action.
Referencing isn't a bonus action.
All right, Asher.
Is he able to run up and get into melee? Is he able to hit the judge, or can he only hit
Not the judge, not in melee. The judge is on top of the behemoth, so you'd have to climb up, but the behemoth is well within melee.
Well, we'll hit the behemoth then, because that's what I can hit.
Absolutely.
Asher, you need to learn how to jump like that.
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Give him time, he's learning.
Like a 24,
Easy.
and then the other one is an 11.
Fortunately, with the second hit, you try to cleave in the same place, but you meet like this muscly exterior on the outside, and it just kind of like wrings your hands as your blade of your sword. Is that what you're using? Okay. As the blade of your sword just kind of rings against this flesh.
So he does 15 slashing damage.
15. Alright.
All he can do. He hits things.
Any bonus actions or anything?
I don't have any bonus actions.
Alright. It is the behemoth's turn. So it has a bear, and it also has an Asher in reach. Actually, yeah, the bear and Asher. So both of you are going to get hit as it slams down its mighty claws. Asher will be yellow, bear will be blue. That is a natural 19 for Asher, and 15 plus 4, 19 for the bear.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Do my weird summons get the same aspects that my regular summons get, where I can do like the ether swap and ether pact with them? Sweet.
So Asher, that is 12 points of slashing damage. And Maul, that is 15 points of slashing damage. After the behemoth, Milos, you are up.
Okay, so after breaking out of this vision, and having absorbed all of these elemental power thingies, do I feel any different? Like, do I feel fatigued? Do I feel...
You feel empowered, but, like... It's like a storage of energy. Like, you can't access it when you think on it. It's in there somewhere, but right now you can't quite reach it, but you are, like, rejuvenated. And it seems like, at the moment, you can reach the elements way easier than you ever have been able to. In fact, your awareness of elementals in the area is almost expanded by, like, double the amount that you can normally feel. Like an adrenaline high.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So I still have Dusty.
Yes.
I will, since he's a melee character, 100%, he doesn't have any range. So I will have him glide up, like Earth glide up to the behemoth, assuming it's within 30 feet.
Wait.
And I will have him. Is this part of my action to command him, or is this like a bonus action? How does this work?
No, it'd be a bonus action for you to command your marshal.
Okie dokie. I will have him strike twice against the behemoth right next to Asher.
All right.
and the other one's a dirty 20.
Both of them will hit.
Okie dokie. 11 plus 8. 19. So 19. I'm assuming bludgeoning damage. This is damage. So, but it's a slam attack. It's like smacking its fists against him. So that's his turn. And then I will. That's my bonus action to do that. I think I'm going to do a Chaos Bolt. Has the judge been hit by anything yet?
You saw Din, like, whip 2 arrows out real quick at him, but they both glanced off of his armor.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a Chaos Bolt at him.
Alright.
Let's see if I hit it. That's 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So, second level, I think I get an extra 6. Yeah.
What kind of damage on your Chaos Bolt?
It depends on what I roll. So I can choose between force or poison. I'm going to do force.
Okay.
So that is 10 plus 6. So 16 force damage to him.
Alright.
And that is my turn.
Alright. After that is Marquies.
Okay. Then how far away are you from me?
She'd
Close to you.
probably be only about 20 feet away. Well, no, she hadn't gone up, so she's right next to you.
I shoot.
Oh, great. Well,
Throw a mystery potion at me.
I was actually going to give you a Hermes sandals.
Oh.
Which grants
2
haste.
mystery potion.
Do a mystery potion. Mix them together or toss them?
Oh, God.
Okay. What were the...
You had red, purple, or silver.
You know what? Alright, fine. I'm gonna give you, I hand you a purple one. Here, drink this.
Can I drink it right now? I can't. No.
I can, like, as part of my action.
Yeah, I mean, he can smash it against you. It's his way of giving it to you.
Okay.
As long as you're not fighting it.
No.
Okie dokie. I need you, Marquise, to roll me a d6.
Oh, 6. Ooh. 3.
3. You said purple, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you start to feel the purple liquid in this vial start to seep into your skin, and you get, like, these pains in your body, like, I don't know, like, you've got to stretch, like, to get rid of them, like you haven't, like, moved in a while, or some kind of pain that's familiar, like, from your childhood, like, you're a small creature, but you had a growth spurt.
You're gonna get big. You're gonna get big.
This is a potion of enlarge.
You big?
So You are considered to be a large creature for the next hour.
You're gonna have to grapple a behemoth.
Dins.
Go get it, Din. Go wrestle it. Go wrestle the behemoth.
Oh, perfect.
Trap it in your bracelet.
Perfect.
Your bracelets are large size too now.
Get in there!
Oh, that's
Great
great.
smash.
I hope you whip out your little pocketbook and make like a note.
Yeah.
Oh, purple is big. Purple big.
wrote it down.
I didn't have time to
Dear
look up a
diary.
reference. How come he has time to make notes?
Anything else?
Yes, no, this is great. So that was my action, but is it an okay, so the bandolier, is it an action to remove it? Or is it just
It's
like
a
part of the
bonus action
to
to remove and use.
Okay.
That's what makes the bandolier great.
Well, I put a Hermes sandals on the bandolier.
Alrighty then.
So I'm going to yank one of those off.
Okie dokie.
So I well, I don't know what you want me to roll.
I need you to roll percentile for me again.
Just roll a
Go
39.
back.
Just roll a 39, it's fine.
93.
7? Because if you roll a
Double
a
zeros.
10 on that, and then like a 7, that's
It's
just
just a
7.
17. If it's a 1-0?
No, it's a
No.
0-0.
It's a 0-0?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
that'd be 7.
that one
The double zero. The 0 is the 10. Yeah.
is,
0-0 and a 7, right?
yes, it's a 0-0.
Okay. So yeah, that's a 7. Okay. There's 7.
I never use those fucking dice.
Well, that's interesting. I need you to choose 3 creatures.
3?
3 creatures.
Oh, can I don't even,
A gold dragon, a blue dragon.
No. 3 creatures in
like,
the area. 3 targets.
sure, okay.
Good things or bad things?
You don't know.
Oh, shit.
Actually, I'll make this even easier because I'm assuming your target with the Hermes sandals is Din.
Yeah.
So we'll say Din. We'll exclude you since you're the tosser.
You tosser.
You tosser. Ellie is back here with you, as well as Becky. Yeah.
I guess, why not?
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
close by.
Marquies,
They
What are you
probably
doing?
would.
What are you throwing at me?
Paintball.
Uh,
Do you have a paintball gun, right? That's what it looks like. Boom, boom, boom.
Actually, we'll do Milos, Becky, and Ellie because your intended target is
Dragoon Bestie is here too.
not
I don't know
close
if
as
he-
close as
I
you
don't
guys
know-
are.
I don't know if he counts.
But so Din, you are now hasted. So you're big and fast.
Big and fast.
Big and fast. When your vial smashes against Din, it releases this like kind of purple cloud, and it splashes against Becky and Milos and Ellie. And I need you to roll me a D10. This is gonna be chaos. This is gonna be
You started this.
I love it. I love chaos because I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, see, this is what we get for not picking cards, folks. 4.
Okay.
I don't like that inflection.
Okay.
No, that one's actually that's a more mild
I'm not enjoying
inflection.
the
Like, I think
inflection.
I'm okay.
I'm not enjoying the inflection. I'm concerned.
Okay.
Stop saying okay.
Little John over here.
Okay. Okay.
What?
What? What's T-Pain saying?
He's typing in something. I'm scared.
Yeah, I have to pull up a stat block.
Oh, what? Huh?
I have to
We're
pull up a
turning
stat block.
into like salad.
Oh man, he's turning us into sheep. We're all gonna be potted
Sheep
plants.
was on the list.
I was gonna say, aren't you just already sheeple?
Sheep was on the list.
We could also turn into like 3 trolls and it
Fucking
would
dragons,
in the
bro.
fight. I mean, yeah, hey.
No, just 3 more like behemoths appear.
Oh,
Just gets the biggest hard on.
these are all
There's a
mine
nosebleed.
now?
Fight.
It's the end of the campaign as you all become totems. No.
Oh.
Oh. God. Okay, there it is. Alright, so the mist envelops the 3 casters, and it bubbles up and around you 3 as you begin to inhale, and your bodies begin to crack and begins to shift in places, and then you see this happening below you, and the like purple smoke kind of rises up, and you look down as the mist starts to clear, and you feel, because they're close enough, you feel like this fur brace across your legs underneath you, and where once was Milos and Becky and Ellie, now stand 3 mammoths.
There's not...
Becky trumpets in protest.
Ellie does like stompy feats.
Stompy feats. In the chat, I'm gonna throw your stat blocks in, so you don't have to ask me every time. Bop. That's your bonus action.
Well, I used my action to make Din big.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna take a couple steps back.
Fair enough.
And then I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Becky, Mammoth Becky, it's your turn.
Trample. I'm going to be very angry and fuck. I don't know. I guess I'm going to like charge someone and gore them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you gonna hit up the behemoth?
Hopefully, yeah, not us.
Yeah, fuck that behemoth.
You
I
guys
charged
have
the
a lot of
behemoth and I'm going to strike for him.
They're huge beasts. How big am I? Is that large?
You're large.
Wait, are we the same size as the behemoth?
No, oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You're
behemoth.
huge.
What level
This
of
did
intelligence
even the
are
fight
we
a
at?
little bit.
What?
Do we have the stats of the mammoth?
The ones that I sent you in the chat.
Oh boy.
With the same
Oh, that's
intelligence, or
not-
they keep their intelligence?
The same intelligence.
Oh.
Is it's a
Oh,
polymorph.
that's not.
I've got a 3 in intelligence.
What was it?
I rolled a 1.
Oh no. You're not used to these mammoth legs yet, and you kind of like stumble over yourself, and like your tusks like dig these deep trenches in the dirt as you get up to the behemoth, and like Asher has to kind of like sidestep from being gored by a tusk, and yeah, you kind of like right yourself for your next attack. After Becky, it is the judge. And he just kind of laughs, and he's like, poor pathetic creatures.
I think they're quite majestic.
Alright.
It's like an elephant.
Ellie
Hairy.
slaps you with her tail.
So
else should be you, Majestic.
He's going to cast Fireball on you, Din.
Cool. Too bad we don't have a caster that could counter that.
Nope.
So I need Dex saves from Din, from Ellie. Marquies? No, 20 foot. You're just out of it. And Milos.
We're using this Mammoth, right?
The
So
Mammoth.
-1?
Yep.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a 4.
I also got a 4.
Ooh,
I'm a mammoth. 13. I've got
13?
negatives in everything.
So you all fail.
Oh, you guys do actually have
Yeah, they're just strong.
Strong.
You have a +7 to strength. Holy shit!
They don't move fast.
They don't move fast. They just move. They move the earth.
How do they do? I mean, they got 40.
I mean, yeah, they're just not like dexterous, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for Dex.
So that's 3, 6, 10, 11. 17, 22, 23, 25. 31 points of fire damage. And that, what?
I have fire resistance. How does that work?
Halves the damage.
Oh, good.
So 15. Because it was 31. It's rounded down.
Okay.
But unfortunately, mammoths do not have fire resistance. So,
It smells great around here now.
singed fur. So,
Mask.
is he going to? Nah, he'll save that for later. That's his turn. Back to the top of the round with Din.
Fee-fi-fo bump.
I'm gonna grapple it.
You're gonna grapple
Can I
the.
grapple her?
Rip the jump up.
Can
Jump
I-
drop. It's just
No, you can't because it's technically a size larger than you.
Yeah, I cannot.
You can't grapple.
But the mammoths can.
I'm gonna say no because they don't have thumbs.
Why can't I just
Oh.
grapple it with my horns?
What,
Yeah.
they can't just like
like. Can't they all just lay their tusks on him? Or their like trunks?
Grapple with the tusks
All
or
put their trunks down
trunk.
on it.
I guess I'll shoot the judge.
We were just trying to get Ellie to stop being so chaotic. and
I
now
mean, you're
there's-
large enough to reach him with a fist
Marquies.
too, yeah, but like you're gonna shoot the judge.
I'm shooting the judge.
Okay.
But now you have a very large bow.
also you are hasted, so
You get 3 attacks.
Well,
No, 4 attacks. Right?
I believe haste is
You just get two
haste you
actions.
get
So how many ever attacks
it
you
gains
get
an
with an
additional
action?
action.
She has
Yeah, like
2 attacks right
action.
now, right?
So
So
gets
you get 4 attacks if you use your second action to attack.
Okay, well, I shot him. with
You
a
need
10.
to use a different die.
I shot him with a 10.
No. Again, even this gigantic arrow just glances off.
Shooting spears.
It's right there.
Shooting spears is would be a drag name, like Britney Spears.
Mhm.
Shooting spears.
Shooting spears. What did I get? It's way better. It's 23.
Yes, that one will definitely hit.
Um, 8 damage.
Alright. You still have 2 more if you're using your second action to attack.
Problem days? Oh,
For an hour.
Oh.
No, it's a minute.
Well, the spell is. 1
The
minute.
spell is, the potion is an hour.
So if I changed my axis, that's an action.
No, okay. So it would be an action if you're swapping weapons.
Yeah.
If you drop your bow on the ground and you just like pick up your axes from your side, that is an interaction. So, but your bow would be on the ground.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Giant
absolutely.
bow.
I've never used my axes. I don't even know if I have like. I don't have it set up. Where's your hand axes?
6.
Sounds about right.
Hand axes.
Yeah.
I believe they're D6s.
56. What's your dex? Or whatever your strength. Whatever
No,
you
plus
use.
strength. Unless you're tossing it, then it's a dex.
No.
Yeah, if you're just slashing, then it's strength.
It's like the same. But I have 2 axes.
So do you have the...
I don't have to do anything.
Okay, so what you can still do, though, is you can slash twice with 1, and then as your bonus action, you can slash with the other one, but you can't add your proficiency modifier to the attack roll.
Okay.
It's just your
Yeah,
straight
straight
strength.
Alright, I'm gonna do that then.
Okay.
2 hits?
Yep.
First one, is it 20?
Yeah, that'll hit. Natural 20?
Yeah.
So you'll double the dice damage, so it's 2d6.
Plus whatever your plus. 10 damage.
10 damage. Alright, second attack.
Is 15.
15. And you're attacking the behemoth or the judge?
I was checking the judge. Can I still reach that? I see nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're large enough. Yeah. How much damage?
That hits?
What was it?
Is 15.
15? Yes. 15 will hit. 15? Judge. No, won't hit the judge.
So in the bonus action? Hit?
Yep, bonus action, so you just add your strength modifier. Not your proficiency.
No. That's like 7.
Okay. But you got 1 clean strike on him that time around.
Just start using axes.
But you did have to move up into melee and kind of jimmy your way in between Becky Mammoth and everybody else without stepping on him. So,
Okay.
all right. After Din is Ellie. Ellie Mammoth.
I feel like Marquies might take it.
Wait, what happens if I transform while I'm big?
You would be large. You would
Would
just be
I?
considered
Would I-
large.
She's already large.
Would I go down to the right size? I assume I would. Yeah. Well,
You would be an enlarged version of whatever.
Would I
can
be?
enter.
You would be, because the potion's affecting your body, and your type of change is a physical, not a magical type of change, not like polymorph would be. So the same effect would be under like a druid who was enlarged. You shape into the animal, you would be a larger size of that animal.
okay.
Large whip.
God.
Yes, I was like, I want to be a large flying snake.
Yes. I am going to stomp on my feet and do a trample charge. Start running to gore the
The behemoth?
behemoth.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. $15?
15 will hit the behemoth.
Okay, it's 4d8 plus 7.
Get to it. As your mighty tusks pierce the behemoth.
And I trampled.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
Charged.
the trample charge.
So they have to
save.
do a DC 18 strength save throw.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, and it's
Well.
fine.
Behemoths are strong.
The gore damage is, I rolled like all 4s.
Oops, all 4s.
18 plus 7.
25.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think they have a bonus action. Sorry.
I just shove my tusks into it, and I trumpet at
Marquies?
Dragoon.
Oh, at your Dragoon?
Yeah. To make the come hither, stab it motion with my trunk.
You look back to where your summon was.
Oh shit.
Because you're not a human. You don't know what the fuck a summon is.
But my summon doesn't go away when I die. Why would it go away when I'm a creature?
Because you can't focus on keeping that aether intact.
I look back at Marquies and I do with my trunk.
You have 3 intelligence. You have no idea this was on me.
Yep. You're just angry mammoth.
I still make angry at Marquies.
All right. Anything else, Ellie?
No.
All right. Asher, you're up.
He'll just take swings.
All right.
That's what
I'd say at this point you have enough.
14 and like 22.
At this point, I'd say you have enough mammoth friends to have advantage.
Okay, let's roll. See if we got another 20. All right.
So the first one will hit because you said
Well,
22 was the highest out of
20
that, right?
Well, one was a 14 and one was a 22.
They'll
For
hit.
both of them. So let's see if either of them are
I just
crits.
want to pick him up with my trunk and put him in
Neither
eye
of them
level.
are crits.
Okay, but both will probably
Both will
hit.
hit. Oh, I think that's 8 and then 9. So 17.
17.
Yeah, which is basically what I did with one hit last time.
All right, he's looking really rough after that last attack for you.
Accent shirt. So.
All right.
So he'll 13 and more than that, but let's roll it again. They both hit then because that's a 19.
Yep.
So okay, so let's just double that. All the dice. So 13 and then 13, so 26 more.
6. Asher, break your limit.
I've never done that. He's just gonna start like hacking away. Just,
All right.
we were cutting grass.
Ellie grabs him and tosses him in the
I
face
feel
of
really
the
bad.
fucking...
That
Get
I'm
up.
killing this behemoth that Din probably wants.
That's fine.
So, you start just swinging these flurry of blows, and as you do, your sword starts to glow with the green of the life stream, and you're hacking away chunks, and these beams of green light go out and slice down the body of the behemoth itself, and cuts across the behemoth multiple times. They go completely through, and the behemoth falls into a slump.
I'm gonna eat that. Look it up.
Steak?
Behemoth
Yeah.
steak.
That's a steak.
It is a
We're
thing.
gonna eat that.
But the judge is still alive.
I don't think we've barely touched her. Her, right?
Him.
Him?
This is a different organ.
Oh, I thought it was
Zargabath. Yep.
Yeah,
Dog
dog
breath.
breath.
Anything else, Asher?
I think that's all I can do. That was my bonus action.
All right. Well, Behemoth's dead, so he is out of the question. Milos, you are Mammoth Milos.
I don't have my Dusty anymore, correct?
You do not, because you don't know what a Dusty is.
That negative 3 or negative 4 to int will get you every
enjoy
time.
that we're the smartest people.
Okay.
But I think we're also always the smartest people.
I know. I've
When the behemoth died, did Zargabath fall off, or is he just they just fall in place and he's just on top of it?
Yeah, like a solid brick, he just boom, and he stood solid still.
Okay. So no one's in melee with Zargabath, right?
There are a couple of mammoths that are, technically.
if I do a trampling charge, would I have to like maneuver around them or anything like that?
You would, because I'd say that there are two other mammoths in his area, because I think the trampling charge has to be a straight line, right?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot straight line.
What was the movement speed for a mammoth?
40.
40. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have to move far off to his side to avoid trampling your fellows.
Okay, I will do that. I will like move, assuming I know that I can do that.
Well, let's go ahead and have you roll an int check.
Yeah, my intelligence is -4. So. Oh, that's a 1, not natural, but it's 1 total.
You don't care that there are other things in the way.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna beeline straight to this thing that I assume is my enemy.
Yeah. So Becky Mammoth was the first one to get to Zargabath, and Asher was in front, as well as Maul. Forgot to have Maul go last time, so if you when he dropped, you can have Maul like go up and make a swipe at the judge if you want.
Right now?
Yeah, go ahead. We skipped the bear.
We'll just do 14.
14 does not hit. Glances off of that gilded armor.
Who did kill him? I want that armor.
18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
18 will hit.
12 damage. Slashing.
Alright. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead and do the charge, is it everything in your line of charge?
It just says it moves at least 20 feet towards the creature and then hits with a gore attack on the same turn, then blah, blah, blah. So,
I think you have to be able to move the 20 and, like, Mammoth Becky's butt is only about 15 feet from your face, so you'd have to like maneuver yourself around and like then charge over like where like the bear and Asher are.
Right, and so my intelligence was not high enough to do so. So I'm guessing I would try and charge and get to a point where I just have Mammoth's butt in my face.
This doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't use up the charge because you can't use the ability anyway. So I'm not gonna force you to use your action to not do anything this round. So you can move up to Zargabath around the side and not. I mean, you can still do another attack. Just not the charge.
Okay, well, I will just try and gore him then.
All right.
Well, if I could get in 5 feet, I would stomp him, I guess. But
yeah, you could get in within 5 feet.
I don't know if it has to be prone. It says reach 5 feet, 1 prone creature. So I'm guessing I can't do that.
Creature has to be prone, yeah.
Okay, so I will go with it then. 19?
19 will hit.
Okay. 6 plus 10, 16 plus 7.
23? Alright.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, his armor's starting to dent.
Don't do the armor.
You want to break his body when he's dead.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll put it back together. Just
After Milos is Marquies.
Yay. Do that. Everyone is piled on top of him. Okay. Well, so what I'm gonna do is, I will maneuver so that I have line of sight, and I will take a shot.
Sounds good.
15.
15 will not hit, unfortunately.
I only have one attack.
You do have a bonus action.
Yeah.
Throw one of those mystery potions at one of the mammoth butts and see how many weird
They're
effects
not
we can.
loaded into the.
Oh, right. It's like, let's see how many weird effects we can stack on top of each other.
Just get like blue and green mammoths. It's like a dye job.
Rave mammoths.
Right.
No. That will be my turn.
Both shots seem to, like Din's previous arrows, of the smaller variety, seem to just kind of glance off this heavy plate that's being worn. Right. After Marquies, Becky Mammoth.
Becky is pissed more than usual, so she's going to charge after the judge.
I think you're in melee.
Well, fuck it. I'm going to gore the judge.
Sounds good.
What do you want from me? Okay, so that's dirty 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, that's, I think just 11 damage.
11 damage?
It's like 48 plus 7.
Oh, so 18 then. 18 damage.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty rough. After Becky.
Must be an appellate judge. He's not very high.
After Becky, is the judge. Looks around, kind of takes stock of his situation at the moment, reaches inside of his cape, and produces this device. He's got a gun!
He's a judge, jury, and executioner.
He's got this device that seems to be this cube that continues to shift. And
He's got a
he...
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring us into the Monster of the Week 80s.
Oh, no.
This is gonna just
Crossover episode.
Right?
And you hear, wake up, Danica. No.
Oh no!
And you're stuck back in the motel room again, and...
Oh no, we've been in the motel room all the time!
Watch our Monster of the Week episodes, by the way. Anyway. Let's see. That is a 21 to you, Milos. Does that hit? I think it hits the
Yeah, my AC is only 13.
Mammoth. Yeah, okay. You don't take any damage, but he presses this cube against your woolly foot, and it seems to sink into your flesh. And while as a mammoth this does not register for you, everybody else kind of seems to think it's pretty weird. He then... Yeah. He does produce a pistol in his right hand. It's a very strange looking pistol. You see him... It's kind of like... Your characters wouldn't know what a revolver is, but you guys know what a revolver is. It looks like a revolver, only instead of like round shell holes, you actually see it looks like a thin up and down
Barrel.
It's not that portion is not called a barrel. I don't know revolvers well enough to
Are you talking about on the
the spitty part.
cylinder?
The cylinder, that's the word. The barrel is also very thick and like again like probably about the size of a coin. And you see as he pulls back the trigger, the cylinder spins, and he aims it at you, Asher, since you killed his beast, and he's not very happy about that. That is a 19 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right. So you have your shield, right? Okay. So you've seen Marquies use this kind of weapon before, and you instinctually bring up your shield, and as the projectile hits that shield, you are trained in shields, so you kind of point your shield down into the ground, and you look and you see now, because the road beneath you does have portions of it that are stone, you look and you see that there is a platinum coin spinning on one of the stones before it finally
Fucking shooting goddamn quarter shells at us.
finally wobbles and finally stops. So
Action.
He's using throw gill
Exactly.
with a pistol. Asher, just in there money. Put it in your pocket.
That's his turn. Din.
Smash.
Large Din.
I want to become Snake.
You want to become Dirk?
Become Snake.
I want to see what happens.
Okay. There is now a large flying snake that looks like Dirk.
But very, very big.
A large
Oh my
Dirk.
god, what a big Dirk.
Oh.
Biggest Dirk I've ever seen.
So yeah. I believe Dirk's bite's like a D4. Yeah. So, large Dirk's bite is a D8.
Yeah. Dirk be eaten.
So whatever Dirk's stats are, I think he uses strength as well. That
Actually, his bite just does 1 damage.
just does 1 damage.
But there's some heavy poison on it.
Yep. So the poison is not going to change as Dirk produces the same type of poison. It's not anything different. But yeah, he will bite for a D8 because you're a large-sized creature. Because those are big fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I want to bite him.
We'll bite him. All right, go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Through the armor.
Chomp chomp. It's like a can opener.
Yeah.
I think it's 12.
12 will not hit, but
Mm-hmm.
at this point you should have advantage because he's fucked
He's
really
fully
anyway.
surrounded
So
Just
Yeah.
fuck
by
that
a bunch
way
of
put him.
fucking mammoths.
yep.
I can't. 19.
The mammoth spell
19 will
like,
definitely
actually pretty
hit.
nice to have.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
So
We don't have magic, but you are all like
Smashing.
Yeah, there's no magic now. This is just, we're all just
I only bite him
melee.
for 2.
fucking brawler.
Plus your poison, right?
Yeah, plus poison. 2, 4, 5.
So 9, 10, 11?
Yeah.
Yeah? break your limits.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my
He got
god.
bit by a snake and died.
That dumb bitch.
Can I wrap around him? So I can wrap around him and fight him?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna
Eat his
Right.
head.
eat his head.
Yeah.
Fight him right off
Snap
the
his head
top.
off.
Do it. Eat his head.
I'm gonna wrap around.
Swallow it.
This one
All right.
pops off.
So you coil around him and you sink your fangs in, and before you pop his head off, you guys can see that the venom just oozes from Din's fangs, and there's more venom here than there needs to be for a person of this size, and like he plumps up like a blueberry as it courses through his body, and she just Mortal Kombat fatality, like rips the head off, and a little bit of the spine
Yeah.
comes with too. And we are out of combat.
Ellie walks
Is
off.
a mammoth.
Yeah, she walks off and goes and pulls some grass up with her nose and starts eating it.
Okay.
Grass is nice.
This grass is nice.
It's good grass. Polymorph lasts for an hour, guys. We're here for a while.
I mean, this could be a different type of polymorph. Well,
It lasts for 24 hours.
I think our friends are gone, and we're going to need to find more help now that they're mammoths. We should probably get going.
Well, I'm gonna pick up that coin.
Okay. So you have a platinum.
I would add it, and then I am gonna loot the body
Okay.
because I want everything off that. Like,
I want that gun too.
Roll me an investigation check.
oh, I'm okay at that.
Giant flying snake.
Hmm?
Giant flying snake.
Just gonna keep being a giant flying snake.
That's only a 14.
14. Most of the useful things on his body are, of course, a pretty sizable pouch
that's
of money.
Oh, money. That's mine.
Yeah.
No one else is around for us to know that we're taking money.
I mean, Marquies is next to you picking up the gun that dropped from
Yeah,
his
he's not
hand,
concerned
so...
about that. Marquise has never been concerned about money.
And the rest of us
They
are
don't know what money
strangers.
is.
They don't know what money is.
Yeah, it's just our money. We don't need to talk about the money.
There are 4 platinum pieces. And there are 60 gold pieces. There are 45 silver pieces. There are 25 copper pieces. And there are 6 electrum pieces.
Fucking Electrum. Get it out of here.
Gross. You can put that in your gun.
We should experiment. to see if the
But there
different
is
points do
that.
damage.
Like, besides money, there really wasn't anything. There's his sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's very ornate. You don't really, like, at first glance, you don't really know what metal was used for this. It might require some testing,
Maybe my Moogle will know.
perhaps. So you can go ahead and add curved blade to your inventory.
It's called a curved blade.
Yep. And he also had a dagger.
It's a normal dagger.
No. Why don't you make me... Why don't you make me a history check? With advantage, because you would be proficient.
19.
You recognize this dagger. It's a little bit bigger than most daggers, and it's a really weird make because it has this like kind of mouth-like piece cut out of it. And you immediately recognize this as a sword breaker.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
So sword breaker daggers were used kind of in history for everyone as a defensive weapon to catch swords and break them.
I've heard of those.
Yes. And that was it.
Marquies get the gun.
Marquise, you receive the gun.
Is there money in it?
There are, when you spin the barrels, there is a gold piece and a silver piece.
Oh.
There are 3 barrels in the cylinder.
Okay. I wonder if the different coins do different damage.
Experiment with it.
Checking on it, you
Let's
can
go shoot.
Yeah. Beat with a mammoth. They're fine.
Oh God!
That's the quickest way to get him not be mammoths. Drop their hit
I
points.
will trample you.
Let me anger them. Pick the Milos one seems to be the calmest.
I mean, I'm not trampling anybody. At the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Becky seemed very mad, and there was a lot of gesturing with the trunk on the other one.
Ellie's now.
I assume the Ellie that one has rabbit ears still, like a.
No, it
Easter
just
Bunny.
has 2 tufts of mammoth fur that are
Yeah.
like this.
Being trained in Arcana, you definitely feel the hum of magic coming from this particular weapon. But yeah, that is it. Unless, Din, you want to come back to a human and harvest some behemoth steaks.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up my phone too.
Marquise.
Yeah.
Out of character, you should call that the money shot.
Eh,
Oh, I like it.
So go ahead and make me a survival check.
Oh, 14.
14. So you manage to procure, while you guys are probably, like, at least waiting, are you guys, like, waiting, like, short rest time to see if, perhaps the polymorph is going to wear off of your mammoth friends?
I'm still large, right?
What? Yeah, you're still large, too, so that's what makes carving the behemoth a little easier. But we'll say in that hour, you manage to take an effect that you will not probably be large for too long. So you cut what would be for a humanoid 6 large behemoth steaks. And then with your 14 roll, you also manage to take 3 braids of behemoth mane, 2 behemoth fangs, and 2 behemoth horns.
I got the horns. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important part.
So, after you're done procuring this, you watch as your party members start to do that funny Disney animation style pop back as one of their giant legs start to like pull in and they start to pop all over and they just kind of drop on their butts back to
So since
their humanoid forms.
you're bipedal and those are quadrupedal, what
Oh my god, that was so gross.
what are their back legs?
Huh?
What are their back legs turned back into?
Legs.
Legs.
Legs,
We'll,
yeah.
we'll say
Oh yeah,
legs.
no, because they just
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Marquise. I'm unhappy.
How could you be unhappy? Think of
Says
all of the beautiful material that you have for your book now.
So it's like the worst thing she's ever said.
Bestseller right there.
No, that sounded very Trumpy. I don't like that.
You know this book's being written about you, right?
I really don't care, to be honest.
Have you just accepted it at this point?
Look, they've written several books about me.
6.
I don't. Several, 6. I don't.
Does that mean that I can convince you to sign my 6 copies?
I thought I already signed those.
No, you signed Mom's copies.
Fine.
Awesome. Din and I are almost on book 3.
So,
Oh my gosh.
I read to her every night. She's learning common.
Slowly.
Word common.
You don't know?
She knows Marquies really well.
You don't know common.
No.
You don't
She
know how to
can't-
read common.
No, I'm looking down at you.
Huh.
Why are you so big?
and then you pop back down.
Oh!
I was taller than all y'all for just a little bit.
Now you're
Because...
looking back up.
Mm-hmm.
Milos, how come they wanted to kidnap you?
How should I know?
I mean, what kingdom did they want you to rule? I thought you said your country was ruled by ladies.
Yes, my aunt is the queen. We've always been a matriarchy, as far as I know.
And why were you glowing?
Maybe they want him because he's a fucking magical sponge.
He was glowing and he smelled like the mist.
Smell like the mist?
Yeah, you were like your aura was mist-like. It felt like that same kind of chaos power that makes me really angry.
And you absorbed like 2 of my most powerful spells.
Did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were glowing.
I'm not still glowing, am I?
No.
Look, there's something off about you. And like,
That's okay though. There's something off about all of us.
Do I remember the cube thing that he shoved into my leg?
Nope, because you were a mammoth.
Cool.
Well, that was fun. Should we go back to town?
I think that's probably good, yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
have there, Din?
Nothing here.
My stash of behemoth parts. Is that what you're talking about?
How are you gonna eat all that
smoothie?
steak before it rots?
We'll eat it. Like,
Well,
raw.
Oh, you know what? We're having steak for dinner tonight.
It's one for each of us, man.
Yeah, we'll have steak for dinner tonight. We'll cook it.
Ellie is vegan.
We'll go and
You're
well,
vegetarian.
oh, well, you guys will have steak. Maul can have mine.
Okay.
I'll make a salad.
You guys here, as like the remainder of the troops that had been left alive and left behind, as well as the mages, you now see as Oraha had probably taken off to the left side to try to save as many people as he could on that side, since they didn't really have any support over there. And he's kind of leading people back. While there was probably about 50 in your company, probably down to about 20 now, besides you guys. So, Oraha says, "Well, I hunted the 2 that were over there. The 2, and I thought that there would be troops, but I took a look around and." While there were arrows that were fired upon us, I didn't see any footprints from soldiers.
Must have been more magic.
It was my guess, and I did catch very heavy magic smell in the area.
Well, this guy's dead now. I point to the headless corpse. She ate his head when she was a snake. Did you eat the helmet too?
Yeah, I guess I did.
Oh,
That's gonna be tough to pass.
It's gonna be I hope it shrank down when you...
You poop out a little helmet.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants to answer these questions in D&D.
I would like the poop helmet when you're done. Yeah.
Little mini.
I just want to see what we can do with it.
He'll make a keychain out of it.
Yeah.
A little charm for your weapons.
Yeah. It's like the little thing you put on the end of your
Seems like a
sword.
pretty shitty prize for everything.
Yeah, there was nothing there when
Wow.
they died. You guys were mammoths.
He mistake anyone? Oh my goodness! Wait, and then I get Poppy back out. Come on, I got work to do. And I start sending everybody that's dead.
Go ahead and make me a con save, Marquies.
Yo, hey, no, wait.
No,
before-
you already started dancing.
Shit! I forgot he was here.
Roll the new character.
I start dancing, and I'm like, oh, Marquise usually
Natural
isn't
one.
this close when I'm
Oh.
sending. Oh.
Okay. Oh. I have a +5 to con. That's 24.
Good.
Yeah, you
You actually
feel
cast life on. He's alive now.
you feel that familiar tug on your soul to return to a place that you should be, but you manage to fight it off, and you're like, nope, I can't be here anymore, and you start like hiking it back to the village, back to Kaywood.
Marquise is going. Oh shit. It's fine.
Alright, so once Ellie is done dancing, you guys start huffing it back to the village, and some of the fear sets in on some of the troops that are with you that, you know, maybe there were still people, maybe there were troops, maybe they attacked the village.
It was 4 people with really powerful magic. I think that was and a behemoth. The behemoth was real.
The village, as you near, is fine. The same old man that you had seen out the southern gates, still standing watch there.
Is Emma still amongst the living?
She is.
I think I would go up to her and be like, how? I guess I haven't even seen freaking Bergeron or whatever.
Bergen?
Oh.
Bergen.
Oh yeah.
And so I would say, like, what, did Bergen make it?
And Emma wasn't there when Bergen removed her mask, so she's like, I haven't seen her. She disappeared during the battle, as far as I know.
I have the
I
answers.
think I'll call out, like, did anyone see Bergen?
Just mumbles of no.
It was me. I saw Bergeron. So did Milos.
She was the leader of that armored group. She was the one that you hit, remember?
They were wearing a helmet. I didn't see them.
Oh, well.
Becky was flying too, so she probably didn't have the angle to see the face under the visor.
Right. Wait, Emma, how long did you know her?
I've known her for 7, 8 years now. I don't know.
Then our real enemy isn't numbers or troops, it's betrayers in between us.
She just kind of she's already dejected from the mood, and she's just more so, and she kind of furrows her brow and walks into the city gates.
We should talk to Ilar. Maybe he knows why. I don't know why he'd know why they want Milos, but maybe he could point us in a direction to figure out why.
I feel like we should be careful.
Yeah.
Like, if Bergen can, like, serve this city for 8 years and not be found out, who's to say Inmar is on our side?
I trust him.
He knew a whole lot of what was going on that we didn't.
Well, I trust him. But also, I didn't know that other person. Also, I think this is separate from the stuff with the church and the summons. I think that this is something different. But I don't know what. Did they say anything to you that, I don't know, triggered any memories, or that, like, about your home? Anything we could, like, ask somebody about or look up?
I mean,
Something your aunt might know?
I did have a vision at some point while I was under the influence of whatever that was. Something about a chimera. Something about a chimera hybrid.
Didn't you learn something about that at Mother Matoya's too?
Yes. Look at my notes. Ancient bloodline. Book can paralyze or turn to stone. Come from fiends or beast kind. So, potentially, I mean, I don't know a lot about chimera. I know they're dangerous creatures, but I am not.
But they are creatures. We can learn more about them. Din might know. Do you know anything about chimeras, Din? Like, I wouldn't.
They're not natural
Yeah.
beasts, so name doesn't ring a bell.
No, I don't know anything about them.
And so, with many questions, a lower mood, you all return to the K-Wood to lick your wounds and prepare for the future. That's where we'll end tonight's episode. We will see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to check us out on YouTube and all the podcasts and social medias. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.